Hello, and welcome back to Literally My Life, my guide to girlhood. I cannot tell you, this is our fourth episode. It's my fourth week doing this podcast. I can't tell you how absolutely insanely exciting this is. And I just am so grateful to be doing this podcast and like having so many people listen to it. It's gotten more listens than I really could have ever expected, and it's just gotten more popular than I thought. Um, and I just want to thank you guys for the love and for everybody who's like texting me. It's really just my friends, but because this doesn't have an Instagram yet. But everybody's like giving me feedback and all that good stuff. I love you. I appreciate it more than you can know. Okay. So today we're going to talk about Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day is around the corner. It's on Wednesday. Today is Monday, so it's literally 2 days away. And so, you're like, okay, so what the hell are you going to talk about? It's damn Valentine's Day. Well, we're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about my thoughts on Valentine's Day, my thoughts on the holiday, and, maybe you guys can give me a little feedback on what you guys are doing for Valentine's Day. How about that? Okay, so I'm very excited to get into this topic. This is something I'm just excited for this. Okay, so let's talk about Valentine's Day. Let's just talk about it. Okay, let's start. So Valentine's Day is obviously a holiday of love. It mostly celebrates romantic love in my opinion. But I think it's, even though I'm like not somebody who's like in love right now or like been in love in a while, I definitely like the holiday. I like the pink. And I just kind of like the excitement of the holiday. Like, just seeing decorations in stores and hearing people get excited and people have plans and you're getting gifts. Like, I just like the excitement of the holiday, It gives like a Christmas kind of vibe. So there's nothing wrong with Valentine's Day itself. I actually really like Valentine's Day. I celebrate Valentine's Day whether I'm with somebody or not. Every year I go to dinner, whether it's with, a guy or I'm with my friends, and I just always have a good time because it's not, even though romantic love is what's mostly celebrated, it's not necessarily about romantic love. It can be about platonic love, which I also like to celebrate. But I I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts on Valentine's Day. We'll dive into that. So, like I said, there's nothing wrong with the holiday itself. That is not the issue. It's like the issue is the pressure kind of behind it, and it kind of ties back to this thought that people have that it's like if you're not in romantic love, you're lonely, and I think that's so dumb. So as we discussed in the last episode, I haven't been in like an actual like I've been, I've met people, I've liked guys, I've had little crushes, but I like Candy Burris said, I meet people every day, but it's been a while since I've met someone. Do you get that? I like wish I did video podcasts so you could like see me right now, like just like talking about it and like I'm talking with my hands and you can just tell I'm like overly excited. So yeah, I meet people every day. I meet guys, but have I met someone? No, I haven't met someone in a while. And like we talked about it in the last episode, I'm definitely content with that. I've had a lot of time to work on myself and just get to know myself and understand my standards, understand what I like, understand what I don't like, and like I know the next time that I actually do meet someone, it will go better than my previous relationships because I've had these last 2 years to reflect. And that's been actually really wonderful. But, you know, I don't think there's really any downsides of being single, but there are some things that I don't like. Like, not that I don't like, I just don't like the way people try to paint you as lonely because you don't have a boyfriend. That is stupid because you don't need a boyfriend to be happy. You don't need a boyfriend to feel fulfilled. And let's just get into that. So I'm not going to go into specifics. I'm not going to really talk about it. But I did have a situation at school like my sophomore year and it just was interesting. It gave me a lot of notoriety. It was not a fun moment. That's all I'm going to say. Um, and afterwards, I was, just single, living life, and I think the thing that bothered me most about this situation was that a lot of people painted me as like lonely and sad and like, she's lonely because she doesn't have a man in her life. And that was untrue and just not fair because to me, I don't find fulfillment in being in a relationship because being in a relationship has all of its downfalls. As much as it has like good things about it, it definitely has its bad things. Like being in a relationship comes with a lot of stress, in my opinion. And this is probably because I haven't been in a really healthy relationship in a long time. But like being in a relationship comes with stress. You're stressing. One of the biggest things I think is like one of the biggest stressors is being in the talking stage. I'm in the talking stage with you. I don't know if we're going to decide to take it to the next step or if you're going to decide you don't want to date me, you're going to ghost me, you're going to break it off in the talking stage. That's stress within itself. And then it's like this whole thing of like, oh, he didn't text me back quick enough. Oh, it takes him 2 hours to text me back, 4 hours to text me back. Oh, he does not like me. Or maybe he likes me. Or maybe he does. Like, that's so stressful. And as much as I try to act like it's not stressful, it's stressful. As much as I try to act like I'm stronger than that and I'm better than that. And I'm like, you know what? If I started talking to a guy right now, I would not care if he took 8 hours to text me back. I'm doing my own thing. But I'm going to care because I care about you. I care about the talking stage. I care about the talking stage turning into a relationship because I'm human. Okay, I'm gonna care. So I think honestly, being in a relationship definitely can be stressful. Like I think the talking stage is stressful, and then once you get into the actual relationship, you have your honeymoon phase. You have that 2, 3 weeks, maybe even a month or two, where you guys are just obsessed with each other, where you guys are all over each other. You guys can't get enough of each other. But then there's stress after that. Like, then there's the argument phase. Then there's the roommate phase. Then there's the did I make the right choice by being with them phase. There's so many phases in a relationship, and I'm not saying that those are always deal breakers because you can get through the argument stage with a guy. Especially if you guys are arguing over dumb things. You can get through the roommate phase like, "Hey, we're not having fun anymore. We're just like roommates. It's not like we're together." You can get through that with the right partner and enough communication. You can get through that. So I'm not saying that's a deal breaker in a relationship or that's even a bad thing because that's absolutely normal. Couples are going to fight. Couples are going to argue. Couples are going to feel like roommates. You're going to lose the spark at one point in your life. It like being in a long-term relationship, I can do a whole other podcast episode over this. But no, I'm just saying that it's stressful. And I don't find fulfillment in that stress because maybe I just have like this anxious attachment style. I don't know. I'll ask my therapist. But like, I get stressed. But I do enjoy the honeymoon phase and I do enjoy having a partner. Like, I remember my last honeymoon phase. It was amazing. I was, completely obsessed with this guy in like a healthy way, in the sense of like, I loved the way he smelled. I loved touching his hair. I loved giving him hugs. I loved, because we were both in this honeymoon phase, we used to make these jokes together. We used to laugh all the time. We were always hanging out. It was fun. Like, the honeymoon phase is so fun. I'm not trying to be that hater on relationships. I'm just saying, don't try to paint me out to be lonely because I don't have a boyfriend, because that makes no sense. And I'll give a perfect example of this. Okay, so I'm not going to, again, I don't really want to talk about it because I just don't want this to be a thing. But I had this situation, right? And after everything went down, people, I feel like, just painted me out to be lonely and whatnot and whatnot. And so after this situation got a girlfriend, right? And the situation's girlfriend, she did an interesting job, I think, of kind of playing me out to be lonely and maybe even a little, not even maybe, but jealous, kind of. because she had the situation and they were dating and they're going on dates and they're hanging out together and they're doing things together, and I show up to, dances alone, and I'm not going on dates, and so she did an interesting job at saying that. And I think, I'm just going to say it now, I think that was so absolutely stupid for so many reasons, even not relating to, that's what we'll call him, the situation. Um, I don't even care about that. That's not even the thing. What I care about is like being painted as like lonely and jealous because I'm not with anyone. And I think that's stupid because if I really, really wanted a boyfriend, I know I could have one. I'm at the point in my life where I don't want to settle. Like, the situation's girlfriend, she's definitely settling, you know, even if the situation is the greatest person, like, the greatest looking person or the tallest person or the funniest person, she's settling. And I'm not going to get into, like, I don't want to be messy. I don't want to get into reasons why, and I don't want to be rude, but I think if you know, you know. But for those who don't know, I'm just at the point, like, what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm at the point in my life where I don't, like, if you don't want to be with me, like, I'm not playing the games anymore. I'm not doing this, like, oh, maybe he likes me, maybe he doesn't. I'm not doing the whole, oh, let's talk for 2 months. Like, I'm not doing that anymore in my life. It's either, like, you want to be with me, you like me, or you don't. And if you don't, then don't be in my life. You know? That's where I'm at. I'm just not at the point where I'm going to settle. I just hate when people try to point you out for being lonely. Like, I've gone to homecoming with my girls every year since freshman year. I've gotten ready with my girls. I've gone to the dance with my girls. And I've had a great time all 3 years, all three dances, getting ready with my girls, going with my girls. Like, it's been fantastic. I've never had a bad homecoming experience. And I have loved it. I've gone to other homecomings at other schools. Um, and I had a fantastic experience. Like, I got ready either by myself or with my girls, and I went to other schools' homecomings, and I didn't need a boyfriend, to go with me to these dances to have fun. I had fun with my friends, and I didn't feel lonely. I didn't feel jealous of girls who were there with their boyfriends. I was happy for them. Like, what? You're with a guy you're happy with and who you feel supported with. Have a great damn time at the homecoming. I'm having a great damn time with the people I feel happy with and the people who support me and love me. And that's my girls right now. I haven't met a guy, who I feel is worthy. Not necessarily worthy. Like, I don't want to be like one of those people, but I'm just saying I haven't met a guy who I think I like enough and who likes me enough that I want to flaunt him around in public like I once did. Do you understand that? I'm sure you understand that. You guys are very, very understanding. But I also want to talk about, you know, falling in love. Because falling in love is a very exciting and fun thing. I do want to talk about that. So, okay. One of the best songs. I know I love her and people get tired, but I'm not even ashamed. One of the best songs I think that just describes the process of like actually falling for someone is Labyrinth by Taylor Swift. And let me explain why. Okay, just give me a second, okay? Labyrinth is such a beautiful song. Labyrinth literally talks about like it kind of goes through the stages. It's like, oh no, like, oh crap, like I actually like this guy. Like, what happens if he's gonna hurt me? What happens if he chooses like somebody else or not to be with me? Because I actually like him. Like, oh no, I'm falling in love. And then it's like, oh, I'm falling in love. Like, this is actually nice. Like, I like him, and I'm falling in love. And then it's, oh, I'm falling in love. I thought the plane was going down. Like, I thought I was never gonna fall in love again. I thought I was kind of done with this. And then you turned it right back around. Like, how did you do that? It's an exciting feeling for sure. That's why I also like Valentine's Day, because I feel like it also celebrates the excitement of just falling and being in love. And I don't have the most experience. I've only really been in love once. And even though it didn't end the way I wanted it to end, it was such an exciting experience. Like it like changed my brain chemistry. It opened my mind to a lot of things. And it was a very exciting moment. And I really liked it. I'm not even kidding you. Like, so I'm not saying I'm like not open to meeting someone new, like actually meeting somebody and like doing the whole thing, because I'm open to it, and there's always people around and I'm not really too worried about it. But and there's nothing wrong with being in love. If you have a boyfriend this holiday, and be proud to celebrate with your boyfriend and have a great time. Just don't paint people as lonely or like wannabes or sad or jealous because they don't have a boyfriend. Because in my case, and I think this is the case for a lot of people, I'm just sick of settling. I don't have a boyfriend this Valentine's Day because I don't want to settle for just half like half-ass stuff. Like I don't want to settle. Like I don't want to settle for somebody who may or may not like me, who may or not be too fond of me or crazy about me, and I'm not settling anymore. And I would just so much rather show up to an event alone and hang out with my girls who I know actually really do appreciate me and really do love me for who I am than settle for a guy who's cheating on me and always cheating on me, and I just look kind of stupid for being with him. And just I'm not settling anymore. It's over with. And that's my message to you this Valentine's Day. You don't have to feel bad if you're alone, because we're not settling anymore. We are not settling for a guy who may or may not like us, who acts like he likes us sometimes, but he won't. We're not settling for guys who don't want to hang out with us, like in public. Like I've never been through that, but you know what I mean? Like we're not settling for liars. We're not settling for cheaters. We're not settling for any of that. It is so much better to be alone and to protect your peace than to be running after, like physically running after a guy who probably isn't that into you, who's probably just with you for the status or some other thing. Because, but that's my opinion. And so I just had the idea to make this episode because of the situation and the situation's girlfriend. And I just had that idea. It just came to me this morning. It was like, I was just kind of painted as just kind of lonely and kind of jealous and kind of sad. And it's stupid because I'm kind of none of those things. I'm just at that point, after I fell in love for the first time and I actually met somebody and had like a really deep connection with them, I'm not going to settle for some, does he like me, does he like me not, he likes me not kind of situation. Because I've been in a secure, stable where I know he likes me. I'm like, you know what, I like you, you like me, let's do the darn thing. And I'm not settling for anything but that. You know what I mean? So I promise you guys, this is a promise I will make. If I ever come on this podcast and I'm like, guys, I got a boyfriend, I got a man, we have to talk about the man, this will be a great man. This will not be, especially if I tell him to you guys, my podcast people, my listeners, my favorite people, my listeners. Oh my gosh, he's special. He's somebody that just deserves the world, because I'm talking about him to my listeners. I come on. But I'm telling you guys, if I get on here and I'm like, hey, we got a man. I got a man. He's going to be a really good guy. He's not going to be somebody I settled for. And I can make that promise to you guys because I've made that promise to myself. And I'm not worried about really meeting a person because I go to college next year. I literally go to college like fall of 2025. I will either be in California or Atlanta or New York or just anywhere. I will be in another state. I will be in college. Oh, will I? Yeah, I will be fall of 2025. And I'm sure I'll meet somebody there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a rush. It's not an issue. It's not a worry. And I don't want it to be a worry for you because you're in a new era of your life. Like, there's so many new and exciting things coming up for you, whether you're about to move, whether you're about to go to college like I am, whether you're going to a new school, even if it's a new high school. Like, there's so many new and exciting experiences for you out there. I don't think it's something you should be concerned about. So don't be concerned about meeting someone. Don't be concerned about settling, because if you meet a guy and he's, playing the games again, that's one thing I want you guys to get from this podcast. We are not playing games anymore. We are too old to be playing games. Not necessarily too old, but we're not going through it. You're either going to love me properly or you're not going to love me at all. If that's the one thing you take away from this episode, then that's it. I like that. That's what you need to hear. So, if you're alone this Valentine's Day, have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Take yourself on a little date. Buy yourself flowers. Hang out with your other friends that are single. Or, you know what? Do whatever makes you happy, because Valentine's Day, even though I said it does mostly celebrate romantic love, you can celebrate self-love. You can celebrate platonic love. I've done that a couple of times. I've had Valentine's Day with my friends. We've gone to dinner. We've dressed up. We've taken pictures. We got ourselves, some flowers. We got ourselves candles and chocolate. And we had a really great time. Like, you know how around the holidays people like to get matching pajamas, like watch movies with their boyfriends or their girlfriends or whatever. Me and my friends have done that. We've all bought like matching pajamas from Walmart, and we've had like holiday movie marathons, and we've had a great, great time. Like, that's never been an issue. So celebrate the platonic love in your life. Celebrate the self-love in your life. Celebrate the people who are always there for you. So, like, I celebrate my best friend. I celebrate my good girlfriends that I have around. Celebrate the people who support you, who genuinely like you, who genuinely want you to do well. Celebrate those people this Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day doesn't have to be about a guy who supports you and loves you, even though that's a great thing and you should definitely celebrate that. But if you don't have that in your life, celebrate the people around you who are rooting for you. If you please understand that you do not have to feel bad this year. And maybe you're like, "Oh, Alex, well, my friends have parties Christmas parties every year and New Year's parties, and they always have boyfriends and they go on double dates and I feel left out." Be happy for your friends. Be happy that they found a guy that they don't have to settle for. Be happy that they found a guy who loves and supports them, because I'm happy for my friends. I'm so happy. My friends have I like every single one of my friends right now, their boyfriends. I like all of them. They're so good to my friends. They treat my friends really well. I love them. I'm happy for them. And I'm not jealous. Like, don't be jealous of your friends. Don't be sad. Don't feel left out or lonely because they found somebody sooner than you did. Just be happy for your friends and celebrate the love that you have with your friends. You know what I mean? Celebrate that platonic love, that self-love that you have. Like, you know what? Maybe this year I didn't get a boyfriend, but I learned to love myself. And that's so much more valuable than any guy. So enjoy Valentine's Day. Whether you are with your parents, whether you're with your romantic interest, whether you're with your friends, enjoy it. This is a day to celebrate love. And love is so powerful, no matter the form of the love, whether it's familial love, platonic love, romantic love. Celebrate that love that you have in your life, because that's something I've become so grateful for. I celebrate the love that I have because I'm surrounded by so much love. And I just am so grateful to have two loving parents and so many great friends and people who genuinely love and care about me and I know I can trust. And that's what I'm celebrating this Valentine's Day. Thank you guys for listening to my rants and my thoughts on Valentine's Day. Thank you guys for listening to Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood. Please, if you're on Spotify, please leave the Q&A question. What are you doing for this Valentine's Day? I want to know you guys' plans, and maybe I'll read them in the next episode. See you guys again next week. I love you guys. Thank you guys for listening.